Our contestant, Lissa Gregorio from West Hills, California, says her biggest passion is watching USC football home games. And now she's about to try and tackle 14 questions for a possible $1 million right here on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Ready? Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Are you ready to play Millionaire today? Lissa, welcome to you. Let's set up your board to get going. 14 questions between you and that $1 million. The 3 lifelines are up there to help you along the way. Got to put a little money in that bank.
Yes.
So let's play. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? We'll start you off with that $500 question. Good luck.
Thank you.
Claiming it's the most comfortable of its kind you'll ever own, mustachioed inventor Mike Lindell stars in ads for what product you'd typically rest your head on? My Pillow, My Bag of Hammers, My Cactus, My Hot Waffle Iron.
All right. While I'm not familiar with Mike Lindell, I think he invented the My Pillow. A final answer.
My Bag of Hammers did not work.
Yes.
My Pillow did. $1,000. Here's the question. In the classic 19th century Dostoevsky novel, Crime and Punishment, what is the crime committed by the main character, Raskolnikov? Jaywalking, murder, credit card fraud, bootlegging DVDs.
We're getting the Russian literature early. It is B, murder. Final answer.
No problem for you, though. That's right. That's good for $1,000 in the bank. Let's go for $2,000.
Yes.
Need another cup holder on that road trip? Motoringabout.com suggests taking off your what and wedging your drink into it. Sneaker, contact lens, wedding ring, underwear.
Wow, all right. Question sounded a little more interesting than it ended up being. But I think it's safest to go with sneaker, A, final answer.
I'm a redneck, I've done it. It works. You got it. That's $2,000. Fourth question will get you to $3,000. If you rearrange the letters and the name of the actress who played Sally in When Harry Met Sally, you can spell the name of what country? Guatemala, Bangladesh, Mongolia, Germany.
All right, so we are talking about Meg Ryan. And so I think the only answer that works is D, Germany. Final answer.
That is indeed the only thing that works. And that got you to $3,000 and now takes us to the $5,000 threshold question. You get this right, guaranteed $5,000.
Right.
Here it is. The entrance of the New York Public Library is famously flanked by 2 majestic marble creatures named Patience and Fortitude. What kind of animals are they? Bears, owls, lions, elephants.
One of my favorite buildings in New York, and so it's an easy one for me. C, lions, final answer.
Yeah, 2 lions there at the entrance. That is correct. All right, Lissa, $5,000. Guaranteed.
Yes.
Nothing can take that away,
Right.
but we can do better.
Of course.
So let's continue with a $7,000 question on the board. In 2018, the NBA unveiled special Statement Edition jerseys for each team. The Golden State Warriors features what tree that's in the name of their home city? Palm, apple, pine, oak.
All right. Special Statement Edition jerseys. Golden State. What tree in the name of their home city? I think I will ask the audience to see what they know about this, if they can help me with some basketball here. Final.
Okay. All right, folks, need some help getting to $7,000. If you would pick up those keypads, any of your votes now. All right. Hopefully I have some Hoops fans in the crowd. Let's take a look at the audience poll and see what we got. 69% say it's D, oak.
All right. The audience is a good-looking audience, and it is a pretty overwhelming majority. And have to take a shot on this one, right? So I think I will go with the audience. D, oak. Final answer.
Yeah, they're moving into San Francisco, but currently play their games in Oakland, California. That's right.
Thank you.
Well done, Lissa.
Thank you.
$7,000. That's a great start.
Very excited about that.
Well, we can do better. We still have 2 lifelines. We're going for $10,000 next. Even if you're not a millionaire, you can be treated like a Caesar at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. Stay in lavish new rooms, savor culinary perfection by world-famous chefs, experience unforgettable nightlife at Omnia or legendary Coliseum Entertainment. Caesar's Palace, reimagining Vegas for 5 decades. Welcome back to Millionaire. Alyssa Gregorio playing a great game so far. $7,000 in her bank. Only use 1 lifeline, so you're in good shape as we try to get to that halfway point of $10,000. So let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? All right, $10,000 question. Traditionally, at a Passover Seder, a seat is left empty and a cup of wine is poured and left untouched for what profit? Aaron, Baruch, Isaac, Elijah.
Oh my goodness, I have been to 1 Passover Seder in all of my days. Aaron, Baruch, Isaac, Elijah. I think I will need to use a 50-50 to help me get to something I'm more confident in than where I am now. Final.
All right, let's take 2 incorrect answers away. Aaron and Elijah.
Elijah. Both names that are in the Bible. Both names I'm familiar with. I think I'm gonna go with a gut feeling here with this 50-50. And I'm gonna go D, Elijah. Final answer.
Open the door, leave a seat for Elijah at Saving Service. That is right. The gut paid off to the tune of $10,000. Nice amount of money, and I love what you are planning on doing with this money because you want to give back. Yes?
I do, yeah. One of the things that when I usually work with kids, I'm a high school teacher, and I would love to be able to have more hands-on things in our room, more experiences for them to be able to experience and go out into the world and see things and appreciate things, because that's just as good a teacher as I try to be.
Yeah.
So that would be a nice thing to be able to do. So
many teachers come on this show and they use the money to give back to their own classes, their own schools. That's incredible. Yeah. Thank you. I love it. Yeah. All right, well, 10,000's nice, but a chance to double your money right here.
Yeah.
Looking at $20,000 with this question. On a laptop, the 5 keys just above the space bar stretch from C on the left to M on the right. Which of these is the correct order of the 3 keys in the middle?
Oh my goodness.
VBN, BVN, NBV, BNV.
Oh, the laptop, I look at it all the time. So we have right above the space bar, C to M. What's in the middle? I think I have to go with the gut again, I think. Might regret this later. But I think I'm gonna go A, VBN. Final.
You had trouble picturing the board.
Yes,
yeah.
I did.
But you got it.
Uh-huh.
You got it. Wow. That was a gutsy move there, Alyssa.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think you were that confident with that one.
No.
And you were risking half of your money But now you have $20,000 and you saved that lifeline
Yes.
just in case you need it. We're 2 away from $50,000. This is a $30,000 question.
Big money, big money.
Huge. Here it is. It's fitting that Kinshasa and Brazzaville are only about a mile apart, since they're the capitals of what similarly named countries? Niger and Nigeria, Democratic Republic of Congo and Congo, Mali and Malawi, Zimbabwe and Zambia.
Well, since capitals and geography are not at all the strong suit of my +1, what better reason to call him down than for that?
If you're gonna go down together.
Exactly. He has to stand here with
Yeah.
me as well. So I would like to call my +1 final.
That's a husband's job.
Yes.
Yeah, take some bullets out here. Jim, come on down. Welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you. So you call me up on one I don't know.
Yeah.
Jump on the, join us on the struggle bus here.
I have good news. You have a decent amount of money.
I do. Yes,
That's a good thing.
That's true. You got $20,000 to walk away with should you choose.
That also means you have bad news.
Yeah, I don't know. My gut was leaning towards A, but again,
For any
low,
real reason?
low confidence level.
Okay.
Low.
5% low?
10, 15 maybe.
Okay, still low.
The question is $15,000 confident.
Yeah. Is this the time where we bid them adieu? Is this where we
It's up
walk?
to you. It's up to you, but I would say yes.
If we're at 20, if we go for it and are wrong,
$15,000 you give back and
Yeah.
you walk with 5. Or you walk with 20 right now, or you take a swing and you go for 30. Unfortunately, no more lifelines.
yeah, had to use them a lot earlier than I wanted to, but they've got us here, so. Should we walk?
She'll walk.
Okay.
Do a lot of good in the classroom with $20,000. That's a lot of money.
Yes, and a little bit of enjoyment before I go back to you.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna walk away, Chris.
Final?
Final.
Congratulations. Unless you want to take a guess?
I was thinking B.
It was B. Democratic Republic of Congo and Congo. But hey, you're walking out with $20,000, Chris. Jim, pleasure to meet you. We're going to come back, try and give away even more money next. Check out the Millionaire website for great video highlights. $100,000. And learn more about our contestants on our blog. Go to millionairetv.com. Welcome back to Millionaire. Our next contestant is a network administrator from Wenatchee, Washington. Please welcome Brandon Lieberg. Brandon, welcome. Thank you. Welcome, killing it, the 3-piece suit. You look like $1 million. Here's how you're going to get there. 14 questions between you and that big one up there. 3 lifelines up there if you need them along the way. Okay? Let's start making some money for you. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? $500 starts us off. Good luck.
Thank you.
Even if it traveled continuously at its top speed, which of these creatures would take over a month to complete a marathon? A cheetah, a greyhound, a garden snail, a gazelle.
26 miles. Cheetah goes 50, 60 miles an hour. I'm gonna go with C, a garden snail. Final answer.
I was hoping you would pick that. Yes, that's right. $1,000 is what this is worth. In the movie The Godfather, Michael is told to go to the restaurant meeting unarmed. And what will be hidden for him behind the restroom toilet? A can of air freshener, a gun, his script for The Godfather Part 2, a meatball parm.
All good answers. I'm gonna have to go with B, a gun. Final answer.
Only one was actually a good answer. That's right, you got it. That's $1,000. Third question worth $2,000. According to wisegeek.com, a slightly passive-aggressive way to tell someone to use a more polite greeting is to tell them that what is for horses. Hey, yo, sup, holla.
I'm gonna have to go with hey, A, final answer.
A is for horses, that's right. That brings us to our fourth question, worth $3,000. A cauterized wound is one that has been closed through what process? Burning, applying tape, using magnets, tying twine.
I'm gonna have to go with A, burning, final answer.
Good option, $3,000. All right, we're a step away from that $5,000 threshold. We're gonna try and get there after we take a quick break. Here's your question of the day. In 2006, what tech company won a trademark lawsuit brought against it by the Beatles record label? Yahoo, Gateway, Oracle, or Apple? Stay tuned for the answer. The answer to that question was Apple. Welcome back. Brandon Liebert from Washington joining us. We're just getting into your game. 4 questions down. You got $3,000 in the bank. This next one's a big step always to get to that $5,000 threshold to guarantee that money. So let's take it. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? All right, Brandon, $5,000 question. Here it is. Britannica's list of history's most famous vegetarians includes all but which of these people? Leonardo da Vinci, King Henry VIII, Mahatma Gandhi, Leo Tolstoy.
I mean, come on, King Henry VIII, right? Big guy. Always pictured with turkey legs and things like that. So, Leonardo da Vinci, artist. Mahatma Gandhi, obviously, I think is Tolstoy. I'm not 100% sure. All but which. Yeah, I'm gonna go with B.
Final?
King Henry VIII, final.
You just described a guy at the state fair. Big turkey leg, corn dog. That's King Henry VIII. You got it. $5,000. Well done, Brandon. All right, that money is safe. Let's try and add to it. Let's try and get $7,000 with this one. Over the course of the initial 10-season run of the sitcom Murphy Brown, Murphy infamously went through a total of over 90 what? House painters, secretaries, co-hosts, boyfriends.
Not being really familiar with that show, I know it was she ran a news show, so co-host would make sense. But boyfriends could also be one of them.
You have all 3 lifelines.
Let's ask the audience on this.
Okay, final?
Final.
Okay, audience, need some help here. If you would, pick up those keypads, enter your votes now. Hopefully we stack the audience with Murphy Brown fans today. Let's see. Well, majority, 57%, say it's B, secretaries. Boyfriends got 21%.
That's pretty, I mean, that's pretty definitive. That's a 57% compared to the rest. It's pretty good. I'm gonna trust you guys. As I said, I'm not familiar with this show. So let's do B, secretaries, final answer.
Famous for having all those secretaries. That is right. Good job, everybody. Well done.
Thank you.
Good job, $7,000. All right, Brandon, that means the time is up for today, but you're going to come back and play more Millionaire, and you're going to come back and watch us play more Millionaire. Thanks for joining us today. For everyone who's been a part of this, and I'm Chris Harrison. We'll see you next time. Closed captioning sponsored by Returning contestant Brandon Lieberg has $7,000 in his bank and 2 lifelines remaining. Let's see how far he can get today on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Everybody, welcome to Millionaire. Are you ready to play today? Brandon Lieberg is back from Wenatchee, Washington. Last we left you yesterday, you were just getting into your game. You got past that $5,000 threshold, all the way up to $7,000, and still have 2 lifelines on the board. You ready to get back to your game?
I'm ready.
Feel good today?
Absolutely.
All right, let's continue this march to $1 million. Let's play. Who wants to be a millionaire? We pick back up today with a $10,000 question. Here it is. A person following the popular keto diet is most concerned with avoiding the consumption of which of these nutrients? Carbohydrates, sodium, B vitamins, fat.
Having spent a lot of time on this particular diet, I feel confident in saying A, carbohydrates. Final answer.
Yes, you want to be in keto. That is right. The idea is to reduce carbs so your body burns fat. 10,000.
Yep.
Reach the halfway mark. Halfway to $1 million. $1 million, you could do some great stuff with it. What would you do?
You know, I have a large family. I come from a family with, I have 6 brothers and sisters, and they all have kids, and I would love to rent out Disneyland for a day and take them all to Disneyland and show them the time of their lives. I think it would be, I'd be the favorite uncle forever.
I would definitely give you that title. And if you promise churros, I am in as well.
Churros are in.
Churros are, I'm in. I work for churros. That's all I need. All right, well, we might need more than $10,000 if we're renting out Disneyland. So let's go for 20 with this one right here.
All right.
A 1570 work called Theatrum Orbis Terrarum is widely considered to be the first what ever published? Atlas, dictionary, encyclopedia, book of puzzles.
Orbis, I think circle, orb, terrarium, earth. So I'm thinking theatrum work or I'm gravitating towards Atlas. Obviously not a dictionary. I wouldn't think book of puzzles. Terrarium, the fact that that word is there screams earth to me, land. I'm gonna go out on a limb here.
Okay.
I'm gonna say A, Atlas, final answer.
This game is about taking those risks if you want to get up to that $1 million. You took one, and you hit it out of the park. That's right. Theater of the world is what that means. Okay, $20,000. Save those lifelines. We're looking good. 2 away from the $50,000 threshold. First up, $30,000 question. Here it is. According to the latest IHS automotive survey, the average age of vehicles on the road in the U.S. is what? 2.2 years old, 5.4 years old, 11.6 years old, 15.8 years old.
That's a tough one to know. It's definitely newer than it used to be. There used to be a lot of, older cars on the road, but they've gotten less expensive and I think I'm gonna have to use my 50-50 on this one.
Okay, final. Let's break this down a little bit for you and take 2 incorrect answers away. So it's either 5.4 years old or 11.6.
That's tough as well. 5 years ago, again, 2013. I want to take a risk here, but at the same time...
Yeah, and what you are risking right now is $15,000.
Right.
You're at 20, going for 30. And you still have 1 lifeline. And that's your wife, Kelsey.
Right.
You're +1.
The average age on the road, just driving down the road, you see weighing towards newer. You don't see many of the old jalopies around anymore.
Right.
But 12 years is not all that long ago, you know. What, 2006? There's a lot of newer cars out there, but I mean, this is across the whole country, so. $15,000 is a lot of money.
You can always walk with 20. That's an option.
Right?
It is a ton of money, but I know you want to keep playing.
I'm gonna have to go with C, 11.6, final answer.
Were you leaning towards B for a second?
For a second.
It's a good thing you didn't. You were right. You got it, Brandon. That just took 11.6 years off your life.
It really did. It really did.
But you got the 30,000. Next up is the $50,000 threshold. Stick around. Even if you're not a millionaire, you can be treated like a Caesar at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. Stay in lavish new rooms, savor culinary perfection by world-famous chefs, experience unforgettable nightlife at Omnia or legendary Coliseum Entertainment. Caesar's Palace, reimagining Vegas for 5 decades. Welcome back to Millionaire. Brandon Lieberg out of the small town of Wenatchee, Washington, playing a big game here at Millionaire today. $30,000 in the bank. And up next, that $50,000 threshold that everyone wants to get to, guaranteeing you 50 grand and then a free shot at $100,000. By the way, you still have your +1. Your wife is still here. If you have any trouble trying to get to that $1 million, only 5 away from that $1 million question.
It's exciting.
Feel good?
I do.
All right. Are you calm or are you nervous?
A little of both.
All right. You should be. It's $50,000. All right, let's play. Who wants to be a millionaire? $50,000 question. If you wanted to try to buy one of the giant Moai statues as a souvenir from your trip to Easter Island, you'd need pesos, since it's a territory of what closest country? I hope that's a good smile. Chile, the Philippines, Colombia, Uruguay.
That's not a good smile, then. I thought it was. Oh, I was thinking Galapagos. Easter Island. It's on. It is a Pacific island, I believe. And I know it's off the coast of South America, so that takes. I mean, the Philippines is out. It's farther south. I don't think it's a territory of Colombia. The thing is, I just watched a documentary on Easter Island. And as soon as I saw it, it popped into my head, but I realized that I was thinking of a different island that I knew the answer to. This one, between Chile and Uruguay, I'm leaning more towards Chile.
I'm confident.
Not enough to lock it in?
$25,000, that's what's on the line.
Maybe my wife remembers.
Well, you have the +1.
Yeah, let's bring her down here.
Final?
Final.
Okay, Kelsey, come on down. How you doing?
Hi. Sorry, nice to meet you.
Remember that documentary?
Yeah, slightly. Not really. Okay, so what are you thinking? What do you have it narrowed down to in your mind?
I have it narrowed down to Chile or Uruguay.
Okay.
Which I want to say it's in the Pacific, but I'm not 100% sure because I confuse it a lot with Galapagos, which is what I did earlier.
Okay.
So, you know, Chile's on the Pacific side, Uruguay's on the Atlantic side. But then again, it was discovered earlier, so I'm thinking maybe it's on the Atlantic side. But it's Polynesian almost. It was settled by, wasn't it? I think.
I thought so.
Polynesian settled, which would
Right,
put it
but
towards the Pacific side.
pesos are also.
Well, pesos are there are a lot of countries,
Right.
you know, especially Spanish-speaking countries.
Right.
Which,
All right, so $30,000. It's yours to walk away with should you choose. Going for 50 here. Risking 25 with an incorrect answer. No more lifelines.
How confident are you? I mean,
like I said, not confident
not at
enough to
all.
lock it in. And, you know, now I'm leaning more towards Uruguay just because I think it's on the Atlantic side. I think maybe we should walk away at this point.
you think so? If you don't feel 100%,
I don't.
or even 75%
And at this
comfortable
point,
with,
I think if I risked it, I think I'd never forgive myself if I was wrong.
30,000 is a ton of money.
right?
I think I'm gonna walk away with 30.
Final?
Final.
Congratulations, guys. $30,000. You were going between, what, Chile and Uruguay?
Yeah.
And where'd you end up?
Towards the end, I was thinking Uruguay.
Chile.
Yeah.
Yep, it was Chile. Hey, you're walking away with $30,000. That is not bad at all. And we're going to try and give away even more money when we come back. Check out the Millionaire website for great video highlights. $100,000. And learn more about our contestants on our blog. Go to MillionaireTV.com. Welcome back to Millionaire. Our next contestant is an NHL analyst from St. Paul, Minnesota. Please welcome Andrew Thomas. Andrew, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to Millionaire. Let's set your board up so we can get you going here. 14 questions between you and that $1 million. You got the 3 lifelines up there if you need them. Let's put some money in the bank. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? $500 question starts us off. Good luck.
Chris.
In Hinduism, which is not the name of one of the gods that make up the triad known as the Trimurti? Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Dennis.
I think I'm going to have to go D, Dennis. Final answer.
Think about it.
A little bit.
You got it. This one's for $1,000. To reduce greenhouse gas emissions, scientists in New Zealand are trying to breed sheep that are less likely to engage in what environmentally unfriendly activity? Burping, using lots of hairspray, driving cars with diesel engines, leaving the air conditioner on all day.
You know, Chris, I'm going to admit there was another answer I was hoping would be up there, but I'm going to have to go with A, burping. Final answer.
We're above the fart jokes here, Andrew. No, we're not. No, we're not at all. That's good for $1,000. This is good for $2,000. Radio personality Howard Stern ran for New York governor in 1994, but dropped out of the race because he refused to do what, as was legally required of all the candidates? Stop swearing, disclose his personal finances, kiss babies, wear a shirt.
I don't really want to stop doing any of these either, but I think in his case it's going to be B, disclose his personal finances. Final answer.
Because he's got a lot of it. That's right. $2,000. Fourth question's worth $3,000, and here it is. Ancestry.com recently discovered that, coincidentally, Benedict Cumberbatch, the star of which show, is a distant relative of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle? Sherlock, House of Cards, Better Call Saul, The Walking Dead.
Chris, this is one of my favorite shows of all time that's been on. He's my heartthrob. I'll say it. I'll admit it. He's the star of A, Sherlock. Final answer.
You could have just said a fan, but that's okay, yeah. Sherlock Holmes, it is great. He's phenomenal in it. All right, we're already up to that $5,000 threshold if you get this right. Located near a natural sulfur spring, the name of what historic battle site where Persia once famously defeated Greece literally means the hot gates? Appomattox, Trafalgar, Thermopylae, Agincourt.
I think the hot is Thermo. I'm guessing Gates is Pile, but the hot Thermo definitely makes me think it's going to be C, Thermopylae. Final answer.
You thought correctly. $5,000. done. All right, little break, little relief. $5 grand guaranteed. We're going to add to that when we come back. Here's your question of the day. In 1781, using a telescope, British astronomer William Herschel discovered what planet? Mercury, Uranus, Saturn, or Venus? Stay tuned for the answer. The answer to that question was Uranus. Welcome back to Millionaire. Andrew Thomas from St. Paul here. Got up to that $5,000 threshold before the break, so that money is safe. Congratulations. And all the lifelines are there, so you're in good shape. Let's get back to it and make some more money. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? All right, let's start with a $7,000 question here. Blues Travelers Runaround, Culture Club's Karma Chameleon, and Stevie Wonder's Boogie on Reggae Woman all contain a solo featuring what instrument? Trumpet, drum, saxophone, harmonica.
Okay. The only one of these I know for sure that I've heard and listened to far too often is Karma Chameleon. And I'm pretty sure that has a harmonica solo. Blues Travelers known for being a band with a harmonica. And Stevie Wonder plays harmonica. So I'm going to go D, harmonica, final answer.
It all adds up to $7,000. Harmonica was it. Well done. All right. Chance to get to the halfway point here. $10,000 question. Here it is. Trademarked in 1955, Krispy Kreme's iconic red and green logo is a stylized depiction of what fashion accessory? Eyeglasses, bow tie, glove, or watch?
I saw a Krispy Kreme this morning, and it does not help. I don't know if it would be eyeglasses. Bow tie would definitely be a fancy thing to wear. A glove makes sense for some reasons, because you should eat donuts with gloves because they're very sticky. And a watch, I don't know. Chris, I think I would like to ask the audience for a little help on this one.
You don't want to keep going about the glove and the donut thing?
I think the audience might have better insight into this than I do.
Is final?
Final decision.
Okay, audience, help us out here. Pick up those keypads. Enter your votes now. All right, votes in. Let's see the results, Andrew. Hopefully this will help us out. Well, 63% went with B, bow tie. Pretty strong majority. 20% watch was second.
All right. This audience feels like they're got some brains up in them, so I'm going to trust them on this one. I'm going to say B, bow tie. Final answer.
I thought you were going to say they look like they eat a lot of donuts. That was... But either way, you guys got it right. Way to go. $10,000. Good job, everybody. All right. 10 grand in the bank. See if we can't double that right here. $20,000. That's what this is worth. In 2018, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed announced that, strangely, what landlocked African country was planning to build a navy? Tanzania, Kenya, Ethiopia, Namibia.
Chris, on my way here, I looked at a map of Africa on the plane for an ungodly amount of time.
Please tell me it sunk in.
I think it did, but let's find out. Tanzania and Kenya, I'm pretty sure are on the east coast. I'm pretty sure Namibia's on the west coast. It's good enough for me to say C, Ethiopia. That's my final answer.
That's what we call a fortuitous bounce. You got it! Woo! All right! I love that. You happen to stare at a map of Africa for like an hour. Unbelievable. That's great. Hey, that sound means that time is up, and you're going to come back, and you're going to come back to see how good this guy plays. Thanks for being with us today. For everyone who's been a part of this one, I'm Chris Harrison. We'll see you next time. Closed captioning sponsored by Returning contestant Andrew Thomas still has 2 lifelines to go, along with his $20,000, and he's more than halfway to the $1 million question. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Game day. Hey everybody, welcome to Millionaire. You guys ready to go? I hope everybody's fired up today because we're in the middle of a great game with a great player. Andrew Thomas from St. Paul, Minnesota is up to $20,000, which is great. But to get there with 2 lifelines, the 50-50 and the +1, is really great. 2 away from that $50,000 threshold, but we got to get to a little step first called $30,000. You feel good today?
Let's do it.
Let's play. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? All right. Starting off with a $30,000 question. Here it is. Before striking it rich with his famous invention in the 1840s, which of these people primarily made his living as a portrait artist? Samuel F.B. Morse, Eli Whitney, Thomas Edison, Alexander Graham Bell.
Okay. Striking it rich with his famous invention in the 1840s. I feel like Eli Whitney did it well before then with the cotton gin because it had to have a lot of time to ramp up and be part of the whole cotton thing. Alexander Graham Bell would have had the telephone in around the 1870s, later, definitely after the Civil War. And Thomas Edison didn't strike it up until much later, around the turn of the century. Morse fits about the right timeline for the period. Don't know about his painting, but I'm willing to go for it based on everything else. I'm gonna say A, Morse, final answer.
Wow, we got a game on. Yeah, that's right. $30,000, Andrew.
Pretty good.
That. It's $30,000. Let him do the happy dance. It's like, that's worth it. All right. It's like bobblehead day here at Millionaire. 30 grand. Okay, this next step is $50,000. Huge, huge step. Still have those 2 lifelines. Chance to get to this threshold. Here it is. If you're seated at a dinner party next to an expert on dendrology, you may want to move, or you'll likely get stuck talking about what? Trees, wigs, clocks, or bats?
Well, clocks is horology. Bats, I don't know. I know that dendrochronology is using tree rings to figure out time. My only question is, am I confident enough in that one to say that dendrology is trees? I feel good enough about it. A, trees, final answer.
Like I said, we got a ball game here today.
Woo!
That's right! $50,000, Andrew! 50 grand! His dancing's not going to get better, but the answers are, we are 4 away from $1 million. Could he be the one? You better stick around to find out. Even if you're not a millionaire, you can be treated like a Caesar at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. Stay in lavish new rooms, savor culinary perfection by world-famous chefs, experience unforgettable nightlife at Omnia or legendary Coliseum Entertainment. Caesar's Palace, reimagining Vegas for 5 decades. Welcome back to what's turned out to be a very good day here at Millionaire. Thanks to Andrew Thomas from St. Paul, Minnesota. Just got to $50,000. Always a huge pivotal point to get to in this game because that is a threshold. $50,000 is now guaranteed in the bank. Can't take that away. You have 2 lifelines left. That is pretty rare to get to this point with 2 lifelines. You're going to get a shot at $100,000, which you're going to take a shot at because you can't lose any money. and we're 4 away from $1 million. I'm sure there's tons of people rooting for you right now, but you have one fan in particular?
Yeah, well, my family's here behind me now, but one member of my family, it would be great if she could come, but can't, is my grandmother.
Right.
She's 95. Her vision's a little bit gone. Her hearing is still exceptional, fantastic. Yeah. So when this airs, I hope she gets to at least hear me rather than, you know, just see me. But there's no one who's rooted for me harder over the years.
What do you call her?
I call her Grandma. Grandma? But her name is Sybil.
All right, Grandma, this is for you. We're at $50,000. So let's play. Who wants to be a millionaire? Okay. $100,000 question. In the book, Burton on Burton, Tim Burton reveals that Warner Brothers actually considered releasing Beetlejuice under what title? Ghost Bastards, Son of a Witch, Scared Sheetless, Poltergeist.
Wow. Those would all be fantastic movies I would watch at midnight for sure, because they all sound terrible. But I have an instinct on one. It's not strong enough for a free guess when I got lifelines in the bank. So I think I'm going to call up my +1.
Okay.
Tara, she's fantastic. I think, at the very least, we're going to have fun figuring this one out. And that's my final answer.
Okay, Tara, come on down. Good to meet you. Welcome.
Oh my God.
How you doing?
All right.
So, what do you think, having seen this?
Well, I think I wish I knew for sure what the answer was. But, I mean, I don't think, well, I mean, I don't know. So Poltergeist and Ghost Bastards I don't know.
Well, it came out a few years. So Beetlejuice was what, 87,
Actually,
88?
it's like, what would, yeah.
So
it would be...
Here's what I'm thinking. I think I recall maybe in the recesses of my mind that it was Scared Sheetless. Because of the Maitlands wearing the sheets, trying to scare the other people.
Right.
And no one would get a thing about a star, even though it's a great title. So that's where I'm leaning with that.
That was, when I was sitting there looking at it, that's the one that I could actually believe. Because, you know, like, if it were just a joke title or whatever, but the fact that Warner Brothers actually considered releasing it as that makes me think it would not be Ghost Bastards.
Yeah.
Poltergeist, would they riff on an older movie? I don't know if that's one of their movies.
But that, I mean, those two are definitely ones that are pre-existing names rather than its own original thing.
Right.
It's a hell of an original film. So.
Yeah. And then, you know, we haven't talked about Son of a Witch. Should we talk about Son of a Witch?
Was he the son of a witch? If he was, that's such a weird one. Like, he's just a guy. There's no sons in the movie. There's no, Beetlejuice's mom didn't appear.
That would be a good sequel, though.
That would be a good
mom.
Son of a Witch?
Mom of Beetlejuice, Son of a Witch.
So the good news, you're taking a shot here.
Yeah.
The question is, do you want to narrow it down to 50-50, or do you want to just take a shot and go for the 100,000 with what you got?
I'm going to take a shot. C, Scared Sheetless. Final answer.
You don't want to leave with lifelines on the board. That's true. And you're not going to. You got it right! Andrew and Tara, you got it right! $100,000! Helped. All right, we got work to do. Head on back up. $100,000. You still have a lifeline, 50-50. We are 3 questions away from $1 million. You're about to take a look at one question worth $250,000. What is going through your mind?
I'm trying to make sure I don't throw up on your stage, Chris. That's more going through my stomach.
Understandable, by the way. Very understandable.
I'm thinking it's a hell of a pleasure to be here. I'm having a lot of fun. I really want to have a look at that question.
Let's do it right now. $250,000 question on the board. After Neil Armstrong became the first to set foot on the moon in 1969, how much time did he spend on its surface before going back inside the lunar module? About 5 minutes, about 30 minutes, about 2 hours, about 5 hours.
If only I had 2 plus 1s and could call up my mom because she talks about the moon landing all the time. But I can't, so I can't. I think it's time to use the 50-50, Chris. Final decision.
Okay, you've saved it to this point. Let's take 2 incorrect answers away. It is either B, about 30 minutes, or C, about 2 hours.
So my plan when I came here, if I was so lucky as to reach this question,
right,
and have my 50-50, was to guess.
Well, you are risking
a lot of money.
$50,000, half of your money, and you leave with 50 guaranteed. About a chance to go for $250,000. When in your life will you have $250,000 on a coin flip? It's very rare to get to this point in the game.
I may also give my parents a heart attack with this one. I seem to recall that they were not out for very long. B, 30 minutes, final answer.
Risking half of your money, $50,000. It was C, about 2 hours.
Oh, well.
Andrew, you played an unbelievable game. I like the guts. You had to risk it to get to that $1 million. And he's leaving here with $50,000. Believe it or not, we're going to come back and try and give away even more money. That's next. Check out the Millionaire website for great video highlights. $100,000. And learn more about our contestants on our blog. Go to millionairetv.com. Welcome back to Millionaire. Our next contestant is an attorney from Kansas City, Missouri. Please welcome Megan Turner. Megan, how you doing? Welcome.
Hi, doing well. Thank you.
Welcome to Millionaire. Let's set up your board, tell you what you're up against today. There's 14 questions all the way to $1 million. 3 lifelines up there if you need them along the way for any help. $0 in the bank right now, but we're about to change that.
Let's please do.
Let's play. Who wants to be a millionaire? We'll start you off with a $500 question. Good luck. Here we go. What is the traditional gift for someone to give their significant other on their 15th wedding anniversary? 15 Beagle puppies, Crystal, a coupon for 15 free back rubs, 15 kidneys.
Well, my husband would probably love the Beagle puppies, but I'm going to go with B, Crystal, as my final answer.
I thought you'd say he was going for the back rubs, because we know what that is. Anyway, yeah, that's right. $500. All right, here's your $1,000 question. In 2018, the California Supreme Court blocked a ballot measure that proposed to make the state more manageable by dividing it into Northern California, Southern California, and what? Smogachusetts, Tansylvania, California, or Tyler Perry's California?
Tyler Perry could own part of California. I don't know. I'm going to go with C, California, as my final answer.
I think he owns most of the United States. Yeah, that's right, California. All right, third question worth $2,000. If Jesus went on Chopped and had to feed its judges with just the food he used in the miracle known as the feeding of the 5,000, he would be working with what? Pork ribs and marshmallows, plantains and cocktail weenies, loaves and fishes, caramel apples and candy bars.
Okay, you know, you've got to get some protein in there, and I just don't think marshmallows were too common back in the day. So I'm going to go with C, loaves and fishes, as my final answer.
You think he would do well? I think he would do well on Chopped. That's right. $2,000. A formidable opponent. Fourth question's worth $3,000. Intended to represent their sticking together, in the early days of World War II, what office supply item did Norwegians wear on their lapel as a silent protest of the Nazis? A paperclip, a ruler, a 3x5 note card, a pair of scissors.
Okay, I'm going with the clues sticking together, and paper clips do a pretty good job of sticking papers together. So, Chris, I'll go with A as my final answer, paper clips.
That's $3,000. Well done. All right, we're going to stick together a little bit longer because we still have to get to that $5,000 threshold, and we're going to do that when we come back. Here's your question of the day. Which of these activities involves a process known as curling, gardening, baking, woodworking, or knitting? Stay tuned for the answer. The answer to that question was knitting. Welcome back to Millionaire. Just getting into the game of Megan Turner. 4 questions in, you got $3,000. We're about to tackle that $5,000 threshold.
Yes.
You know, we shoot this show here in Las Vegas, but you actually knew you were coming to Vegas ahead of time, even before we picked you.
And even before I really understood what it meant. So a little over a year ago, I went to see a psychic medium.
Okay.
And towards the end of the reading, she talked about upcoming trips I was going to be going on. And she named a few that I knew were spot on.
Right.
And then she said something about going to Las Vegas, and she was very adamant about it.
Wow.
So fast forward a little over a year later, I saw that the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire auditions were not only in Kansas City, where I live, but one building away from where I work every day. And I just had this feeling like, I've got to check and see where they filmed the show. Gut feeling. And when I saw it was Las Vegas, I just knew I had to try my hardest to get here, and I would have a good shot.
Did she happen to say anything about me and like my personal life?
She left that under wraps.
We'll talk
don't
after
worry.
the show.
Yeah.
Figure out what's going on there. All right, you're at $3,000. This is a big step.
Yeah.
Got to get to that $5,000 threshold. Let's play. Who wants to be a millionaire? All right, $5,000 question. What 1999 hit for Lou Bega was originally a hit for Cuban bandleader Perez Prado in 1949? Salsa number 3, rumba number 4, mambo number 5, cha-cha number 6.
Well, Chris, I will tell you that I'm thankful that at this time I worked in retail and heard this song roughly 25 times per shift. So I can tell you with some confidence that it is mambo number 5, C. I'll lock that in as my final answer.
I think we'll all agree they played it enough. That's right, $5,000, Megan. Well done. That money's safe.
Yeah.
5,000 guaranteed, but let's try and add to it. Let's go for 7,000 with this one. Inspired by the material its track was originally paved with back in 1909, Indianapolis Motor Speedway is nicknamed what? The Sandlot, the Brickyard, the Coal Mine, the Gravel Pit.
There's one that's kind of speaking to me as fairly obvious, but I just don't want to get this question wrong, and I do not follow racing.
Well, the good news is you're not risking money here, but you are risking staying in the game.
That's true. I'd like to ask the audience their thoughts on this question. Final answer.
Okay. All right, guys, if you would pick up those keypads, into your votes now. All right, let's see what the audience says here. See if they can make this nice and easy for you. 61% say B, the Brickyard.
Okay. I'm glad I asked them because I'm not sure I would have gotten this. I'm going to trust my audience friends and go with B as my final answer, Chris.
When you win at Indy, it's tradition to go down and kiss the bricks.
Okay.
That's right, the Brickyard. Well done, $7,000. All right, Megan, that sound means the time is up today, but you're going to come back and play more Millionaire. You're going to come back and watch more Millionaire. Thanks for joining us. For everyone who's been a part of this, and I'm Chris Harrison. We'll see you next time. Closed captioning sponsored by Megan Turner, our returning contestant, has 2 lifelines and $7,000. Let's see just how far she can go today. Right here on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Fired up over here. You guys ready to go? Wow. They sound like they're ready to see Megan Turner win a lot of money. From Kansas City, Missouri, our returning contestant. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Let's catch everybody up to date on how you did yesterday. $7,000 in your bank. Take a look at those lifelines. You still have your 50-50 and your +1 if you need them as we try to get to that $10,000 halfway mark to $1 million with our very first question today. Okay. So let's get to it. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Okay, here it is. $10,000 question starts us off today. If you know the meaning of the English word bucolic, you won't be surprised that it comes from the Greek bukalos, their word for what? Lawyer, beautician, cowherd, actor.
Well, I don't believe that it's a lawyer, and
Which you are.
yeah, so I'm hoping I have a good idea of that. Nor a beautician. An actor I've never heard called bucolic. I hope I'm okay to go with my gut here because it's telling me it's C, cowherd. So I'll say C. Final answer, Chris.
How bad would you feel if it was lawyer?
I would feel terrible. Please tell me it's not.
It's not.
Okay.
It's cowherd. It means related to rural life.
Yeah, right. I'd have some explaining to do on that
You can
one.
still practice in the state of Missouri.
Yeah,
it's okay.
yeah.
All right, we're at the halfway mark. 7 down, 7 to go. You're at $10,000 and a chance to double that and get to $20,000 if you answer this right. Although distinguishable by its slightly narrower brim and sharper crown, the trilby is often mistaken for what other hat? Bowler, pork pie, fedora, boater.
I actually, the only one of these I have seen and recognized the name of is fedora. So I'm not sure if that's good or a bad thing. I'm gonna call on my +1 to help me with this question.
Okay, final?
Yes.
Okay, Greg, come on down here. How you doing, man?
Good to meet you, Chris.
A guy that might wear hats.
Why do you say that, Chris? No. He wears a fire hat.
A fireman.
Yes.
First responder, thank you for what you do.
Thank you. You have to make it difficult. Okay, so a trilby, a bowler's round.
Okay.
It's shorter. Fedora's.
Well, yeah, I know those, like the rim and.
The boater, I don't imagine it's a boat cat beyond.
Sure.
Pork pie. Sounds great.
Do you know what the heck a pork pie is?
I have no idea. It sounds delicious.
Is there, okay, so is there anything about the ones you do know that make you feel like they would be distinguishable by?
I'm going between the bowler and the fedora. I'm trying to picture a trilby. I'm trying to picture anything that trilby starred in. My gut's saying fedora. Fedoras are slightly rounded at the top.
Yeah,
the bowler's
yeah.
completely rounded.
Okay. And it says slightly narrower brim.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the brim like on a bowler?
Do you remember the painting with the guy with the apple in the front of his face? Then just the unknown. You know this? Okay.
I'm
Very
sorry.
difficult.
Okay.
It's almost completely round on the very
Yeah.
top. There's no
Okay.
angles to it at all. And the trilby, I think I remember having it fold right in the middle.
Okay.
So it's more akin to the fedora than it is a bowler.
Okay. All right. If it's often mistaken and you think that it's closer to a fedora,
I think it'd be
I'm
harder to
leaning towards
mistake.
fedora.
I think that's my gut answer.
Okay. That's further than I would have gone on my own. I am going to go with C, Fedora, as my final answer and cross my fingers really hard.
You got it right. You got it right. Well done, Greg. Hang around with us for a second. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going for $30,000 next. Even if you're not a millionaire, you can be treated like a Caesar at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. Stay in lavish new rooms, savor culinary perfection by world-famous chefs, experience unforgettable nightlife at Omnia or legendary Coliseum Entertainment. Caesar's Palace, reimagining Vegas for 5 decades. Welcome back to Millionaire. Megan Turner getting a little help from her +1 and getting to $20,000. You were happy with that one.
I was so happy, and I just had a feeling Greg would be able to help me out, so.
He did. That was fantastic. Truly, money in the bank is what that was. You're at $20,000.
Okay.
A couple steps to get to that $50,000 threshold, so let's do it. Let's get back to your game. You still have 1 lifeline. Let's play. Who wants to be a millionaire? All right, $30,000. That's what this is worth. Still used today, Jack Daniel's original recipe for his whiskey included 3 grains in the ratio of 80%, 12%, and 8%, with the largest percentage being what? Rye, barley, wheat, or corn?
I associate just almost immediately rye with whiskey. I'm gonna trust my gut on this and go with rye, a final answer.
Pulled that trigger quickly.
Yeah?
It was actually D, corn. Yeah, 80% corn, 12% barley, only 8% rye. Jack, but you're walking out of here with $5,000. Megan, it was a pleasure. Head on up. Now, Megan took a shot at it. She's still walking away with $5,000. We have more money to give away. Our next contestant is a high school drama teacher from Cookeville, Tennessee. Please give it up for Shane Cunningham. How you doing?
Doing well, doing well.
You came to the right place because drama is my middle name.
Well, mine's Don.
Oh. All right, Don. Let's take a look at your board. Here's what you're up against. Those 14 questions all the way up to $1 million. The 3 lifelines up top if you need them. So let's start playing your game, making some money. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? All right, Shane, good luck. $500 question starts us off. According to legend, 3rd century BC Greek philosopher Chrysippus was so amused by the sight of a donkey eating figs and drinking wine that he did what? Recorded it on his iPhone, died laughing, sold the movie rights, booked it on Greece's Got Talent.
I'm gonna go with B, died laughing, final answer.
Seems like a good way to go, but yeah, that's right.
Why not?
Good start. $1,000 question right here. Which of the following does not correctly match a country to its official language? Latvia and Latvian, Mongolia and Mongolian, Nepal and Nepali, Vatican City and Vatican City-ish.
I'm gonna have to say D, Vatican City to Vatican City-ish. Final answer.
It's all Italian to me. That's right, you got it. Vatican City's official language is Latin, by the way. $1,000, going for 2 with this one. In the U.S., 90% of the sales of which sweet treat happen between Thanksgiving and Christmas? Candy canes, Peeps, Sweethearts, Shamrock Shakes.
Oh, okay. Give me a second there on that one. I'm gonna have to go with A, candy canes, final answer.
All right, that would be the right way to go. That'll get you $2,000, and this will get you $3,000. Calling to mind a best-selling model of Toyota, 91 babies born in the U.S. in 2017 were given what name? Miata, Sentra, Camry, Civic.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk through that one for a little bit. It took me a second. So 2017 Toyota models. So Civic's not Toyota, Sentra's not Toyota. But even though the spelling is a little bit interesting, I used to own one. I'm gonna go with C, Camry, final answer.
The Toyota Camry, that's right. Okay, you're already up to that $5,000 threshold question. Guaranteed $5,000 if you get this one right. What director of movies like Straight Outta Compton and The Fate of the Furious has a middle and last name that are anagrams of each other? J. Thomas Shamto, W. Brian Brain, R. Vetness Stevens, F. Gary Gray.
Okay, so they're anagrams of one another. What director of movies like Straight Outta Compton and The Fate of the Furious has a middle and last name that are anagrams of each other? So the middle name and the last name have to be anagrams. So Brian Brain doesn't sound like a real name. Vetness Stevens. So Stevens, let's go Stevens. So those are all anagrams. But here's the thing, I don't know off the top of my head who the director of those films is. I have an inkling, but I don't know for sure. And I want to keep playing this game.
Got to get to that $5,000 threshold at least.
Darn tootin'. So.
Sorry for the vulgar language.
Well, I apologize for the ladies and gentlemen.
From 1912.
Sorry to all the coal miners out there. Let's go. I would like to ask the audience.
Okay.
Final answer.
Okay, guys, need some help here. If you would, pick up those keypads. Enter your votes now. All right, let's take a look, see what the audience thinks. 72% say D, F. Gary Gray.
Okay, that actually was ballpark where I thought it was.
Okay.
Like I said, I came here to play. I'm gonna go D, F. Gary Gray, final answer.
Good job, everybody. Well done, you got it right. $5,000 saved. That money is saved. We're going to try and make more of it when we come back. Check out the Millionaire website for great video highlights. $100,000. And learn more about our contestants on our blog. Go to millionairetv.com. Welcome back to Millionaire, here with Shane Cunningham. Now up to $5,000. You reach that threshold, so we can take a little bit of a break and maybe start thinking about what you would do with all this money.
Well, if I'm fortunate enough to get to the big money, I was very lucky that I had a job I was kind of miserable at, and I was able to walk away from that job and pursue a job that I now have. I'm a high school drama teacher. It is my dream job, but the only reason I was able to do that is my wife was willing to let me step away from a big salary to minimum wage. And if I can win enough money that maybe I can allow her to step away and pursue what she wants to do, then I think that's well worth it.
That'd be awesome. Okay. And she's your plus one.
Yes, she is.
Melinda, what is it you would love to do?
I would probably have to take some time to figure it out exactly, but I would like to get out of the office environment and do work with animals.
Okay. Well, let's make some money then.
Let's do it.
You're at $5,000. We're going to add to that, so let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? All right, $7,000 is what we're looking at right here on the board. Though Cosmology for Dummies may have been a catchier title, The Universe in a Nutshell was the long-awaited follow-up to what book? Dune, The Origin of Species, 2001: A Space Odyssey, A Brief History of Time.
I actually feel like I know this one pretty well. So I'm going to go with D, A Brief History of Time, final answer.
Well played. That is right. By Stephen Hawking. $7,000 now.
Okay.
All right, getting up to some big money.
Yeah. Couple
Reaching that
dollars.
halfway point if you get this one right.
Okay.
$10,000 is what it's worth.
All right.
On Forbes' current list of athletes with the most valuable brands, India's Virat Kohli is the only one in the top 10 who plays which sport? His country's most popular.
Okay.
Badminton, cricket, soccer, tennis.
If you were to ask me the rules of this game,
Right.
I have no clue. But I know this sport is incredibly popular in that country, and so I'm going to go with B, cricket, final answer.
It's safe to say nobody knows the rules. You got it right. $10,000. All right. Shane, we're in good shape. We got a couple lifelines still yet to be used. And now we're looking at $20,000 when we come back. Here's your question of the day. After becoming the 8th man to walk on the moon, astronaut James Irwin went on multiple expeditions to Turkey's Mount Ararat in search of what? The Ark of the Covenant, the Shroud of Turin, the Holy Grail, or Noah's Ark? The answer to that question was Noah's Ark. Welcome back to Millionaire. Here with Shane Cunningham. Now at the halfway point to $1 million. Got $10,000 in your bank. From Cookeville, Tennessee, a drama teacher. We're 7 questions to that $1 million. You still have 2 lifelines up there, so you're looking good. So let's get back to your game and let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? All right. Now we get to the serious cash. $20,000 is what this is worth. Which of the following statements regarding insects is the only one that's true?
Okay.
Dragonflies are flies. Cockroaches are arachnids. Fireflies are beetles. Wasps are bees.
Okay, so fireflies are beetles, wasps are bees. Okay, so fireflies, they've got a carapace, covers their wings. So do stag beetles, other types of beetles. Wasps are bees. It's like one of those things where it's like a rectangle's a square, but a square's not a rectangle kind of questions. I hate those. So I don't know. If that's wasps are bees. Dragonflies are flies. So flies, segmented eyes like dragonflies, multiple wings. Dragonflies have got 2 sets of wings. Flies have 1 set of wings. Okay, so I really want to keep playing this game.
You still have 2 lifelines. You still have the 50-50 and the +1.
I hate to do another lifeline this early on, but that is big dollars up there. That's dollars.
Right, and this is a big jump.
Money. It's a big
10 to
jump.
20.
I would like to use my 50-50 final answer.
Okay. We'll take away 2 incorrect answers. So A,
Okay.
C.
Okay. It's true. I've got to go with my gut. Came here to make some money.
Right.
Came here to play. Let's go with C, fireflies or beetles, final answer.
You took a swing, and you put bat on ball. You got it. That's right.
Got it. Yes.
Well done, Shane.
All right.
$20,000. That sound means the time is up for today. If you're coming back to play more Millionaire, you're coming back to watch more Millionaire. Thanks for joining us. For everyone who's been a part of this one, I'm Chris Harrison. We'll see you next time. Closed captioning sponsored by Shane Cunningham, our returning contestant, has $20,000 in the bank, and he's managed to hold on to one of his lifelines. Will he see the $1 million question? Find out right now on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Everybody, welcome to the show. You ready to play Millionaire today? I know Shane Cunningham is joining us once again from Cookeville, Tennessee, the pride of Cookeville. You had a good game going yesterday. Before we were interrupted, you got to $20,000. Playing a great game. Oh, yeah. And you managed to hold on to your +1. Your wife, Melinda, is behind you today should you need anything. We are 2 away from that $50,000 threshold. But as we start today, a $30,000 question. You're a drama teacher. $30,000, that's a lot of money for any teacher.
It is. It is a great deal of money for anybody. You know, teaching is a calling in many ways, and they know that, so they don't pay as much as they do for other positions. But I am fortunate to do a job that I love, and I get to work with kids every day, and it's wonderful. And yeah, that's a lot of...
Well, the good news, my job is to try and give you a lot of money.
Please.
So let's get to it. Let's get back to your game. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Like I said, we're starting today with $30,000. Here's the question. With an area of 665,384 square miles, Alaska accounts for roughly what percentage of the total area of all 50 U.S. states? 7.5%, 17.5%, 27.5%, or 37.5%?
Okay. All right, 665,384 square miles. Man, Alaska's big. With an area of 665,384 square miles, Alaska accounts for roughly what percentage of the total area of all 50 U.S. states? So that's the 50 U.S. states. And that's... Okay, so that's... Okay, so that includes Alaska. Because it's 50 U.S. states. Total area, all 50 U.S. states, including Alaska. So... that's a lot of space. I'm gonna bring in my +1. She's got a better head for mathematics than I do. Maybe I think if the two of us kind of put our minds together. So I'm gonna do my +1 final answer.
All right, Melinda, come on down. Your wife. How you doing? Welcome.
Good, thank you.
Come on over. You guys try and talk this out.
Okay, so talk me through this. I'm leaning towards 7.5%, simply because I'm thinking you include Alaska in that, you include Hawaii in that, you've got all the continental United States, you've got this massive space, right?
Right.
And so, even though that's a massive number, it's got to include itself, so that's what's got me all hibbity-jibbity here. So what do you, that's a word. What are you thinking? I mean, where are you leaning?
I think we could rule out C and D.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
But between A and B, I don't have a strong feeling.
Oh, I wanted you to have a really strong feeling on that. I really, really, really did.
So here's where you are, by the way. You're at $20,000. Last lifeline is right here. You can walk with 20. That's an option. You're risking $15,000 with an incorrect answer. We're going for 30.
Do we want to risk? Do we want to go for it and say it's one or the other? But I don't know. Like, which one do you lean towards?
I'm okay with walking.
A little nervous about the guess. See, I'm nervous about the guess too. Oh.
Unfortunately, you don't have that 50-50. At least bring it down to a coin toss.
I would bring it up a little bit.
So, the choices now are you take a swing or walk with 20.
I think we're going to have to walk away. Final answer.
Final. Okay, well, congratulations. $20,000. What was your gut leaning towards?
I thought it was A.
B. 17.5%. So you get to walk away and feel good about it. $20,000. change. Congratulations, Melinda. Congratulations, $20,000. Hopefully that'll do some good for you guys. We're going to come back, try and give away some more money right after this. Even if you're not a millionaire, you can be treated like a Caesar at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. Stay in lavish new rooms, savor culinary perfection by world-famous chefs, experience unforgettable nightlife at Omnia or legendary Coliseum Entertainment. Caesar's Palace, reimagining Vegas for 5 decades. Welcome back to Millionaire. Our next contestant is a high school math teacher from Cantonment, Florida. Please welcome Kurt Bell. Yes, sir. Love giving money to teachers. That's what we're about to do. Let's take a look at your board, set it up so we can get going. 14 questions between you and $1 million. You got your 3 lifelines up there. Let's start making money. Yes, sir. Let's play. Who wants to be a millionaire? All right, Kurt, $500 question starts us off. Good luck. In the produce section, a pluot is a cultivated hybrid of which of the following and an apricot? Plum, place kicker, plucked chicken, plaid sport coat.
Well, I'm sure there are places in a grocery store that you can find a plucked chicken, but I don't believe it's going to be in the produce section. So I'm going to have to go with A, plum, final answer.
I was hoping you would get that one. That's right, $500. Now we'll take a look at your $1,000 question. According to Wired.com, what common involuntary reaction to stubbing your toe that can't be shown on TV actually helps alleviate the pain you feel afterward? Yawning, smiling, swearing, sneezing.
Well, I don't know that I've ever stubbed my toe where I've smiled. And of course, yawning and sneezing, I don't believe that's going to be triggered by stubbing your toe. So I'm going to go with C, swearing, final answer.
So it actually helps. All right, it makes me feel better. That's good for $1,000. Here's your $2,000 question. Paying homage to the major Midwestern city where he grew up and started following his dreams, Kanye West's third-born child with Kim Kardashian is named what? Chicago, Miami, Seattle, Tucumcari.
Well, since we're looking for a Midwestern city, I believe I'm going to go with A, Chicago, final answer.
That's right, named Chicago. Fourth question, $3,000. Famous for his homespun wit, college coach Abe Lemons once said of what sport, all you have to do is just tell them to stay to the left and hurry back. Weightlifting, gymnastics, wrestling, track.
Well, I know that when track athletes run, they run by turning to the left to stay to the inside. So I'm going to go with B, final answer.
That's what Abe said. That's right. A little nod to Oklahoma City University and Abe Lemons. All right. Made it up to that $5,000 threshold question. You get this right, you're guaranteed $5,000. Here's the question. Making sense when you think about it. Which type of building's name is derived from the group of Greek goddesses who preside over the arts? Amphitheater, library, cinema, museum.
Well, we're talking about the arts, so I believe the library is going to be out. I'm just kind of stuck on A and D here. So I'm going to go ahead and use the 50-50 and see if it maybe knocks one of those out.
Okay, final?
That's fine.
Okay, let's take 2 of these incorrect answers off the board. Left with cinema and museum.
I'm going to go with D, museum, my final answer.
Yeah, a muse. There you go, museum. All right, that got you up to that $5,000. Better be safe than sorry. Guarantee that $5,000.
That's right.
Now let's try and get to $7,000 with this question. What type of piercing is known as either a Monroe or a Madonna, depending on whether it's on the left or right side? Ear, nostril, eyelid, upper lip.
Don't think anybody's going to pierce their eyelid. pretty sure when we're talking about Madonna, we're not talking about the ear. I think I'm going to ask the audience on this one, though.
Okay, final?
That's final.
All right, audience, need some help here. If you would, pick up those keypads, into your votes now. All right, let's take a look at the results. See what the audience had to say. Slight majority went with D, upper lip, 53%.
Yeah, I think that in this case, I'm going to trust the audience and go with D, the upper lip, final answer.
Good enough to get all of us to $7,000. That's right. Because it resembled the beauty mark of Marilyn Monroe and Madonna, respectively. All right, $7,000. Kurt, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll try and get to 10 grand next. Check out the Millionaire website for great video highlights. $100,000. And learn more about our contestants on our blog. Go to millionairetv.com. Welcome back here with Kurt Bell, who's a teacher in Cantonment, Florida. Got to $7,000. Where do you teach?
I actually teach at a small school across the state line in Alabama. Okay. Flumpton High School. It's the high school that I graduated from.
Got it. So, and apparently you have a little something that you give these high school kids when it's their birthday?
I do. I do a dance for my students whenever it's their birthday, kind of to give them an opportunity to have a little fun in class there. And I actually heard it was your birthday last week.
Recently, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm going to do a little dance for you now, Chris. We're going to dance. All right, Chris. Happy birthday. All right. Happy
birthday. You guys got a little too excited. Little too much. That was awesome. All right, well, that's our happy dance. We get to $1 million for sure.
Right,
we're at 7 grand, got some work to do. So let's play. Who wants to be a millionaire? $10,000 question is on the board. What country's second largest city is named for Mount Royal, which sits right smack in the middle of that city? Mexico, France, Canada, Switzerland.
Well, just looking at the answer choices there, Mexico doesn't seem to be necessarily a good choice there, because I know there are a little bit of mountainous stuff there, but I don't believe the second largest city is going to be in a mountain range. Same thing with Canada. I know their two biggest cities are on the eastern side of the country there. I know that the Swiss Alps makes sense that a lot of their cities would be in kind of a mountainous region there.
Okay.
So this was kind of a point in the game where I told myself that if I wasn't exactly sure, this would be somewhere that I might be able to take a calculated risk.
Right. You still have your +1. You still have one more lifeline, just to remind you.
Okay. So I believe I'm going to go with D, Switzerland, as my final answer.
It was Canada. Yeah, it was in Montreal. Okay. But you're walking out of here with $5,000 and a heck of a dance, Kurt. All right, bud, head on out. Now, Kurt took a shot, and he's walking away with $5,000. Let's give away some more money here today. Our next contestant is a DJ from Newport Richey, Florida. Please welcome McKinney Sizemore. What's up, man? Welcome, Millionaire. Good to have you here. Let's take a look at your board and get you going. 14 questions between you and that $1 million. 3 lifelines up there if you need them along the way. Let's make some money.
Sounds good.
Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? $500 question starts us off. Good luck. In Greek mythology, which of these was not one of the men romantically linked with Helen of Troy? Menelaus, Paris, Deiphobus, Leonardo DiCaprio?
Greek mythology, which of these was not one of the men romantically linked with Helen of Troy? Well, I mean, I think Leo might have launched some ships himself, but I don't think he was around in those times. So we're going to go with Leonardo DiCaprio, D, final answer.
And it's only because he didn't have the opportunity.
Exactly.
That's right. 500. Let's go for 1,000.
Sounds good to me. Let's make it happen.
In the legendary 1950 Japanese film Rashomon, differing eyewitness accounts of a murder are presented by all but which of these characters? The bandit, the woodcutter, the wife, the cowardly lion.
All right, all but which of these characters? Got another one of those not questions. I see you're happy with those this year. Cool. Again, the cowardly lion, I don't remember from Rashomon. I read that, and I don't think anybody had a mane. So, cowardly lion, D, final answer.
It's not wrong. You got it right. There you go. That's $1,000.
You got
Third question worth 2.
4 digits, baby.
According to poet Maya Angelou, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them what? Spot you at the gym, help you move a couch, water your plants for 2 weeks, feel.
You know, Chris, I feel when you fill out a Scantron and there's 3 answers in a row that are all the same letter. Starting to get a little bit of those feels right now, but speaking of feels, that's our correct answer once again. That's going to be D, final answer.
My suggestion, if it's right, keep going with it.
Exactly.
You got it right. All right, that's $2,000. Just getting into your game. We're going to come back, get him to $5,000, and who knows when we come back. Here's your question of the day. In Roman numerals, the letter D with the horizontal line above it represents what number? 5,000, 50,000, 500,000, or 5 million? Stay tuned for the answer. The answer to that question was 500,000. Welcome back. We're just getting going here with McKinney Sizemore. Just 3 questions in, $2,000. We got so much work to do, especially with all 3 of those lifelines up there. 2 away from the $5,000 threshold. So let's get back to it. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? $3,000 question. Clearly not suffering from low self-esteem, what Spanish surrealist painter's autobiography is titled Diary of a Genius? Jackson Pollock, Andy Warhol, Salvador Dali, Georgia O'Keeffe.
Well, I'm only about an hour from the Salvador Dali Museum down there in Tampa area, so I know for a fact that he was Spanish, he was a surrealist, and a shameless self-promoter. That's going to be Salvador Dali, C, final answer.
There you go, exactly right, $3,000. All right, here it is, $5,000 threshold. You get this right, guaranteed at least $5 grand.
All right.
If you're shun piking on a road trip, by definition, you're avoiding what type of roads? Ones with hitchhikers, ones that require going over bridges, ones that charge tolls, ones with a lot of potholes.
Let's see. If you're shun piking on a road trip, by definition, you're avoiding what type of roads? Ones with hitchhikers, I don't know how much control you really have over that. Ones that require going over bridges, don't exactly see how that fits in with shun piking. Charge tolls or potholes? Yeah, definitely done this myself on a few road trips. If you want to pinch the pennies, save some gas money, I'm going to say it's ones that charge tolls. C, final answer.
Yeah, you avoid the turnpikes. That's right, shun piking. Well done, 5,000. Guaranteed.
Nice.
All right, McKinney, that sound means the time is up for today. You're coming back to play more Millionaire. You're coming back to watch more Millionaire. Thanks for joining us today. For everyone who's been a part of this one, I'm Chris Harrison. We'll see you next time. Closed captioning sponsored by